Organized.
Let me get this off. Carlos, have we met before?
No, but I've been watching your videos. And it's a pleasure. I am a mayor. I was mayor of a town like San Francisco.
Sorry, excuse me.
So we're both mayors. You're the mayor of Route 66. I'm the mayor of Atherton,
He says I'm
California.
from San Francisco.
He is a mayor. He used to be a mayor. He says, and you're kind of like the mayor of Route 66.
Okay, through.
Now, this goes in the pocket.
Well, that could be, yes. And then you just put the mic
This goes
towards
through
the
here.
top button. Yes. And then just let it dangle. Again, I don't know what happened to the
Did you say you're from San Francisco?
Palo Alto, just south of San Francisco. Yes.
Palo Alto.
I live in New Orleans now. So
New Orleans.
I'm from New Orleans. I went out there for my career, and then I moved back to New Orleans.
I'm wondering if I can stick it through there. What do you think of that idea?
That's perfect.
Okay, let's kind of though take it back here, just so it's not showing. Okay, perfect. Good job, Mister.
Okay, do I sit, stand, kneel, lie down, or
You're in
what?
the chair, the hot seat.
The hot seat. You live in New Orleans now,
Yes,
Charles?
sir, I do. I've been back about 8 years. I grew up in New Orleans. I studied oil field engineering, and I was sent to Los Angeles to work offshore. And then I changed careers and started designing military repair facilities. And they moved me to San Francisco. I had Alaska, Seattle, Montana, Wyoming. And then I went back to New Orleans when I sort of retired, and then started this project here, which I became like a historian. And I have written a book. This is a book I wrote about Route 66.
And finance. His son, my brother, has a master's in finance.
Oh, he
so-
does?
Yeah.
So the idea I have is that if you were 22 years old in Chicago and you spent your life on Route 66 and you ended up at age 82 in Santa Monica, each state would be a decade of your life. And what do you need to know in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, all the way through?
Nice.
So the idea, I'm going to change the name, it's going to be Route 66, the Highway of Life, or Life is a Journey, something like that. And I have 66 financial topics in it. So I'd love to, maybe your son can comment on it,
He's actually became a computer programmer, but he got a master's in finance. He's our little financial advisor for the family.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, which is nice.
Well, I've watched your stuff, and I know that you have many life lessons to talk about in a way.
He's seen your interviews, and he knows you have a lot of life lessons you can tell him about. Can you hear me? Dad, he's going to ask a question. I'm going to ask it to you. I want you to repeat the question and then answer it.
Oh, take your mask off.
Okay. He's going to ask a question. I'm going to ask it to you. You need to repeat the question and then answer it, okay? Because they're going to cut me out.
Yeah,
And they're going to cut Charles out, too.
Okay.
All right. So much for the mask.
Well, the first thing would be for him to say his full name and then when Seligman, and that he's the mayor. And then I would like him to start maybe with the "We the People" phrase, and he wants to talk about "We the People" and how the people brought this back.
Okay. He would like you to introduce yourself and give your occupation, and then talk a little bit about how we, the people, made Route 66 historic.
Say when.
When?
My name is Angel V. Delgadillo. I was born here in Seligman, Arizona on Old Route 66. And I remember when this town died, September 22nd, 1978, at about 2:30 in the afternoon. Statistics has it that there was 9,000 automobiles using this highway every 24 hours. I am one of 9 children. One time I had 3 older brothers, 3 older sisters, and 2 younger brothers. I still have an older brother and an older sister. I am a married man. I've been married for 61 years to Vilma Delgadillo, and I have 4 children, 3 daughters, and 1 son, Angel, Martha, Myrna, and Clarissa. So we get past September 22nd, 1978. The town died for 10 long years. I don't think you and 500 million people in America or the world know anything about being forgotten by the world. When they finished building I-40, that's when we were bypassed. I began to learn very soon what was happening because of the bypass. The one thing that I learned real fast was our state not only bypassed us, we were literally raped. Listen to what I'm going to say. Flagstaff is 70 miles from here. Ash Fork is 50 miles from Flagstaff. I learned that we were bypassed. Our government never told the world that there was a Seligman by posting a sign on I-40 saying Seligman 60-some miles, Seligman 40-some miles. There wasn't a sign for 50 miles that said Seligman. There was one sign past Ash Fork. Ash Fork is 22, 23 miles from here. There was one sign after that. By then, the traveling public had already gassed up in Ash Fork and Williams. They had already slept there. They had already eaten there. So they bypassed us. What was also bad is that the east interchange that they built coming into Seligman isn't up here where you can see the town. You leave I-40 on the ramp, and suddenly you're way down here. They lost sight of Seligman, so much of the traffic stayed on I-40, ended up shopping at the west end of town. Our government didn't even sign Seligman good at the east end of town. It was a battle from day one. Through the Chamber of Commerce, we ended up asking state officials in different departments to check us out but good. One of the things that we did through the Chamber of Commerce, we got the attention of the highway department out of Phoenix, the bigwigs, to understand that there was no signing between Flagstaff and Ash Fork said Seligman. So the state took inventory of the highway I-40 signing from Seligman to Flagstaff and Seligman to Kingman. Not only that, but because I made a presentation of all the signing from Flagstaff to Seligman with mileage, numbers and all, presented it to the state highway department, and because of that meeting, they not only changed the signing from Flagstaff to Kingman, they did it from one end of the state to the other. Those signs that you see up there are my work.
Congratulations. Wow.
It was a battle from the very, very beginning. So we got the state to recognize the fact that signing was improper. Business was down to nothing. like I say, we had 3 daughters. We have 3 daughters and a son. At that time, our only son, Angel, our oldest daughter, Martha, and second daughter, Myrna, were attending NAU University in Flagstaff. Angel was on a full scholarship. Didn't cost us a dime for the education. Martha was almost on a full scholarship. Myrna had to borrow money, so did Martha, so did Angel, and they paid it back. It was tough, tough, tough. So I had an idea of how to recuperate the economy in Seligman. I had a simple thought. And that thought, I talked about it for years. No one listened. I took it to the Chamber of Commerce, and I was president of the Chamber of Commerce. And I also gave the Seligman Chamber of Commerce its rebirth. I called the meeting. The Chamber of Commerce in Seligman was dead. I called the meeting, and I gave it its rebirth. So, no one would listen to me. I took a Chamber of Commerce, they didn't listen. I finally got their attention of the board of directors and finally got the Chamber of Commerce to call a meeting so we could discuss how I thought we could get the economy back. We held it at the Grand Canyon Caverns. 46 people came to the meeting from as far away as the Arizona-California border and from Seligman. I presided at the meeting. Nothing happened. We agreed to meet a month later, same time. After waiting for years and years and years and nothing happened, I finally called that now famous meeting for February the 18th, 1987. The first meeting was February the 8th. I walked out of that meeting and called that now famous meeting, got on the telephone and called the people, as many telephone numbers I had. 15 people showed up to the meeting. Again, I presided at the meeting. Bingo, we formed the historic Route 66 Association of Arizona. We assessed ourselves $10. We had elections. I was elected president. Jerry Richard was elected treasurer. Dave Wesson was elected secretary. Super dynamic. So the nucleus was those 2 persons, Mr. and Mrs. Ray Barker from Truxton, Jerry Richard and Dave Wesson from Kingman, my brother Juan the Snowcat from Seligman, my sister Mary. We became the nucleus. My secretary wrote the first letter to the Department of Transportation in Phoenix. Probably in early March. Well, here we go. We waited for an answer from the department in Phoenix. I'm not going to say names. We began to have monthly meetings. We would have 35, 40, 50 people at our meetings. This town in Seligman, this month, perhaps the next month would be Kingman, perhaps the next month would be Oakman, perhaps the next month would be Grand Canyon Caverns. We had the backing of the people. We, the people. Meeting after meeting, we talked. No answer. We did not give up. I want to explain to you. We did not give up. I said a while ago, I grew up with 3 older brothers, 3 older sisters, and 2 younger brothers. Grew up during the Depression. Mr. and Mr. Ray Barker grew up during the Depression. My brother Juan grew up during the Depression. My sister Mary during the Depression. Dave Wesson also. Jerry Richard was the one that was born a little bit later. We were people that grew up during the Depression. We knew nothing about giving up. We were taught to make do with what you had. And what we had was determination. Don't give up. Or to make a long story short, the Department of Transportation finally acknowledged our efforts, and they made Route 66 historic from Seligman to Kingman. November of 1987, months and months and months and months later. So here we are all excited. We want to tell the world Route 66 is not dead. We were hard pressed for time. We got together and said we will have a fun run, we called it a fun run. It was automobiles that started here and went all the way to the Arizona-California border.
Can you hold 1 second?